The strangest dream I've had about 2012 would be that it was the final dive, stood on the end of the board, just thinking, okay, if I do an average dive now, I'll win the Olympic Games. And all of a sudden, I just see this shark come out from the bottom of the pool and just wait for me to land in it. And I'm thinking, is that a shark there, or am I thinking it? And so I kind of had to take off, and I was spinning around, and all of a sudden, I landed in the shark's mouth. Then I was obviously died at the time because I got eaten by the shark. And then, yeah, I can remember the dream, like having news channels saying Olympic diver dies by shark attack in chlorine pool. So, yeah, but that's very strange. I don't know what my imagination was doing then.
In 2005, Tom Daley became the youngest diver in Britain to qualify for the Commonwealth Games. He was just 11 years old. His dad, Rob, had been by his side for every training session.
He supports me all the way, and if I didn't have his support system, I wouldn't be here now, because I wouldn't want to carry on without his support.
This is what men can't do, multitask, you see. Mashing potato and frying eggs all at the same time. Enjoy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll just...
In addition to the newly crowned world diving champion, the Daleys have two younger sons, William, aged 14, and Ben, 11.
Hey, what?
What do you think of his diving?
Pretty cool. Scary.
So are you proud of him?
Yeah.
Are you proud of him, Ben?
Yeah.
And is it amazing to live with a world champion?
Not really. Shut up, Ben. It's not.
The Daley family face a challenging 2010. Tom is the only diver ever to hold the three titles, British, European and World Champion, at the same time.
Mom! Come on, jump on!
And this year, in the midst of 9 GCSEs, he's having to defend 2 of them.
The person that's got a bad back.
And Rob, aged 40, is facing the biggest battle of his life.
I started what I thought was hallucinating. I had a strange sensation come over me, like I was filling it with hot water. So I had an MRI scan and a subsequent CAT scan, and he said to me, "Oh, you've got a brain tumour." "Oh, have I?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that." And I said, "Sort of, how big is it in compared to the size of a 2p piece?" "Size of a fist," he said. And you think to yourself, well, 2012 Olympics, am I going to be going to that? Every pin that's gone in was measured and the distance was right and things like that. I'd have measured the distance of the medals so that that particular medal that went on that pin didn't chink with the... because now when you open the window, it'll withstand a slight breeze, but you get a big breeze come in when the window's open, and it sounds like a massive wind chime, which is quite irritating when you're trying to go to sleep.
The very first medal I won, which was the National Novices. I think I was 9 when I drew this. It's me doing a handstand in the Olympics in London 2012. It would definitely be absolutely out of this world if I could do it. It would be, I probably wouldn't be able to stop jumping up and down for weeks. And this is my lucky monkey over here. This is my lucky monkey that I take everywhere because he's my lucky charm.
I pick him up every day. Well, he is on a bus route, but can you imagine him going on a bus? You know, I just get hounded too much.
Tom is 15 and on a sports scholarship at Plymouth College. He juggles his diving and school life, training 6 days a week for 4 hours a day.
Why are you yawning again? You're yawning when you went to school and you're yawning when you come home from school. So that means it's better early for you tonight.
Yeah, we'll go through this again. Why do people yawn?
Because they're tired.
Yeah.
And why are you tired?
Because I'm tired. Train hard. It's just been to school.
And stay up very late?
No.
Watching Big Brother, yes.
No.
You got homework.
Have I not got homework?
Before we get home, I bet you yawn again.
I won't. Dad, honestly, it's fine.
Honestly?
It's fine.
Honestly?
Honestly, not
Honest to God?
Dad, it's fine.
Swear my life?
Dad, it's fine.
You need to understand that I need to get into my head that I know that it's safe.
You really are. You just need to. It's fine.
15-year-old doesn't understand the worry that the parents have got about their kids, you know. Sometimes you can't see the fear which I can see. You'll stand up on the side of a 10-metre board when there's 4 or 5 of them all stood up on the end talking, and he stood backwards, not even over the water. So if he did fall, he might fall off sideways. And it makes me cringe. But I suppose he's that used to being up there, perhaps, that he doesn't feel he's in danger.
Tom is a diving prodigy. He became world 10-metre champion in Rome in 2009 when he just turned 15, adding to his British and European titles. Rob crashed the press conference afterwards.
Tom said, Tom, can you give me a cuddle? Please, come on, please.
Don't make me cry.
I think that moment at the World Championships when he came into the room, into the press conference, and I was there at that time and standing right next to him. Yeah, that is what it is. That's emotion spilling over because, you know, Rob has not got the degree in how to walk into a press centre and handle that moment. There's no training you can give him. Yeah, there's times when I wish I'd sort of held on to him, but that's Rob. You don't get Tom Daley if you don't have Rob as who he is.
Well, according to that, you didn't.
Well, we've won.
As Tom gets older, he's leaving behind the world of junior competitions. This means learning more complicated dives to gain higher scores and beat world-class divers who are 5 to 10 years older than him.
Tom has learned a new dive. He's getting ready to compete at the British Nationals in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, about 3 weeks' time. It's a back 2.5 twist, 2.5 somersault pike. It is the most difficult dive in the world to do. Because it's more difficult, there's a higher risk of you flopping, of duffing the dive. So if you duff the dive, you're not going to get as high marks. But if you do it well, you're up there. You'll do 2.5 twists like that. 1, 2.5. Then he has to go into the somersault. Rotate 2.5 times. When he sees the water, open out and in.
much better balance, just a fraction high on the kick. It looked like it was fast, but it was early drop, so you're bearing down a little bit on the end.
Can you remember the first time you saw Tom?
Yes, I was actually given a phone call in this office while I was sat over there, and they said, come over and have a look at this kid, he's quite special. So I went over to the pool and sat down and watched him for 20 minutes, and at the end of that I made the greatest comment ever, and that was that I didn't think he would ever make a diver, he had no prayer. Now, in my defence, he didn't actually get in the pool. He stood at the back of the first board and cried for 20 minutes and refused to get on and was very stubborn, and there was no way he was doing anything. And it was the attitude rather than anything else that made me make the comment.
And how old was he?
He was 7, I think, at the time. The way that I got round it, I called it the Peter Pan principle at the time, and he had to first of all recognise what the problem was. We would send him away, he'd go and have a shower or a swim, he'd come back hopefully more controlled, and then the aim was to think happy thoughts so that he could fly, as the Darling kids did within the Peter Pan story.
So what are Tom's great strengths and what's his vulnerability, would you say, as a diver?
His strengths are just his awareness and his ability. And his perfectionism. He thrives on competition. Some people fall to pieces in competition, he just loves it. In terms of weaknesses, he has grown massively. He's had to keep up with that growth pattern and make sure that he stays strong enough to do that. And obviously, he's in the middle of a GCSE year now, so there's school pressures that are on top of his diving pressures, whereas everyone else in the world is just a full-time diver.
You know, he's very extremely motivated.